Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be going over my draft strategy from the 4th overall spot in a 12-team league. Inside today's video, we'll begin by looking at the ADP's average draft positions across a couple of the main websites that you guys are going to be using to draft your 2022 fantasy football teams, and discussing how I would look to approach my fantasy football draft from the 4th overall spot in the early rounds. And then about halfway into the video, we are going to be pivoting into a mock draft from the 4th overall spot to help you guys understand how I will look to actually approach things when push comes to shove, when crazy picks happen, and it can help simulate a real 2022 fantasy football draft. But before we could get into things, I would like to ask that if you guys are new to the channel and you do end up enjoying today's video, that you please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And while you're down there, whether you are new to the channel or not, please make sure you do leave a like on today's video. It would help us out a ton. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, please do so at Notorious FNTSY. So without further ado, let's get into my 12-team half PPR draft strategy from the 4th overall spot. So something I talk about in all these videos is not to go into the draft thinking you have to do anything. Don't go into the draft thinking I need to draft 2 running backs with my first 3 picks, or I need to draft a quarterback in the 4th round. Because what you are doing by doing that is putting yourself inside of a metaphorical box, an imaginary box. And if, say, the value isn't there at quarterback in the 4th or 5th round when you are trying to take that quarterback, and then you end up reaching because people already took a lot of quarterbacks. So now you have to draft a quarterback because you said you were going to do it. And then you draft Dak Prescott in the 4th or 5th round, which makes no sense. Or say you want to take 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. What if the running back value isn't very good there and the receiver value significantly better? And then you reach on running back. You are hurting your team by putting yourself into a box before the draft even starts. So while I will be talking about draft strategy in today's video, please don't go into your draft just locking yourself into any given strategy. So we'll start by looking at ADPs across a couple of websites and averaging them together. We're looking at Yahoo, Sleeper, FFC, and Fantrax all averaged together. So the first 3 picks of the draft prior to when we pick, according to these ADPs averaged together, we got Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, and Christian McCaffrey. In my opinion, I think in most leagues, Christian McCaffrey will be the 2nd overall pick, but there are people that are going to be scared of Christian McCaffrey because he has burdened them in the past, and thus they might take Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp, any of those players ahead of him. So we're up at number 4, assuming Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, and Christian McCaffrey have all been selected. According to ADP from these websites, our pick should be Derrick Henry. I like Derrick Henry a ton. I understand he doesn't have a lot of pass catching upside. I think Derrick Henry is a fine pick at the 4th overall spot. But in my opinion, this year, unlike the last couple of seasons, is where we are going to see one or more wide receivers selected inside of the top 5 picks. Here at 4 overall, I'm going to take the best wide receiver in the NFL from last season, the best wide receiver in fantasy football from last season, Cooper Kupp. Do I think that Cooper Kupp is going to be number 1 in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns this year like last year? Probably not, right? But do I believe that he could still be the number 1 receiver in fantasy football even if he doesn't win the quote-unquote triple crown? 100%. Cooper Kupp is the perfect pick here at number 4 because he is both a very safe player, because you know what's going to happen. They bring in Allen Robinson. I like Allen Robinson, but it's not like Allen Robinson is going to steal Cooper Kupp's upside, right? Cooper Kupp is still going to have a crazy upside to be the number 1 receiver, but he's also very safe every single week based upon his usage in this LA Rams offense. So I love Cooper Kupp here at the 104. That would be my pick. So if we go Cooper Kupp, then Derrick Henry, who is the supposed number 4 pick according to these average draft positions, will fall to 5. So after we go Cooper Kupp, then we would see Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, 9-inch Nicholas Chubb, Travis Kelce, DeAndre Swift, Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Alvin Kamara, Deebo Samuel, and Aaron Jones. So we're back up now at pick number 21, at pick number 4 in this exercise, this thought strategy, or this thought kind of experiment that we're doing right now. We went with Kupp at 4. So now we're back up again. Now, in a lot of drafts, I really do look to go into the draft thinking I want to get at least 1 running back in the first 2 rounds because I feel as though there is certainly a fall off after the 2nd round at running back value. But when you are up here, I already took Cooper Kupp. I am perfectly fine for this thought experiment going with wide receiver yet again. So at pick 21, the average draft position tells us that Tyreek Hill would be available and that Tyreek Hill would be the pick at pick 21. And I completely agree with that. Now, I understand that some people will have negative energy towards Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill only dominated because Pat Mahomes was his quarterback, which isn't true because even when Pat Mahomes wasn't playing quarterback in Kansas City when Hill was there, Hill was just fine. But they think, oh, the quarterback needs a big arm in order for Tyreek Hill to play good, and that Tua doesn't have that. Now in training camp, Tua threw an absolute fucking missile to Tyreek Hill, 50 plus yards down the field. But again, that's in training camp. We haven't seen it on the NFL field, blah, blah, blah. Even if Tua couldn't do that, which I know he can do, even if he couldn't do that, Tyreek Hill doesn't need those crazy bombs deep down the field to dominate in fantasy football. He could take a 7-yard slant, 99 yards the other way, and take that to the end zone. So, in my opinion, Tyreek Hill is such a special player that even if Tua Tagovailoa isn't all that great, I think Tyreek Hill still dominates. So, at pick 21, Tyreek Hill would be my guy. After that, we see Josh Allen, followed by Mark Andrews, Saquon Barkley, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, A.J. Brown, and we're back up again. Now, here is when you have to really consider if you want to go balls deep at wide receiver or if you want to go ahead and pivot to the running backs, because the running backs here aren't as sexy. We've got David Montgomery, Ezekiel Elliott, Cam Akers coming off the Achilles, James Conner, Antonio Gibson. While I like Keenan Allen a ton, I think there is a immense fall off after James Conner. I know not everyone likes James Conner. I know not everyone thinks that James Conner is going to be able to put up similar production to last year because James Conner was heavily carried last season by the touchdown total. If James Conner doesn't score a crazy amount of touchdowns, then he's not very good in fantasy football. But I believe without Chase Edmonds there, they're going to give James Conner a much stronger pass catching role in this offense. We've seen in Pittsburgh, back in Pittsburgh, when James Conner was the main running back there, when Le'Veon Bell was too busy on a jet ski to fucking show up, that James Conner can catch passes. So it's not like James Conner is Derrick Henry. So I think we see James Conner's receiving upside elevate heavily this season. I think we also see, while the touchdowns might regress, he sees more carries. He is the clear lead back in Arizona. So you can be nervous about the touchdown total. I am too. I don't think he's going to score that many touchdowns, but I think he's going to make up with that by efficiency and by running the ball and catching more passes. So I'm very excited about James Conner this year. So he would be my pick at pick 28. And then after that, we would see T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, David Montgomery, Ezekiel Elliott, Cam Akers, Antonio Gibson, Kyle Pitts, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert the pervert, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle, George Kittle, me Timbers, Josh Jacobs, Michael Pittman Jr., Terry McLaurin, and DK Metcalf. And then we're back up on the board. We have 2 wide receivers and we have 1 running back. The running backs available in this range: Elijah Mitchell, Darren Waller, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Lamar Jackson, DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins. Well, I said running backs. I just listed off every single player, but you get what I'm saying. Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, J.K. Dobbins, other running backs in this range. In my opinion, I don't love Breece Hall. I do not love Breece Hall because I really think that Michael Carter is going to play more of a factor in this offense than people are considering. Now, I could be completely fucking wrong because I understand that Breece Hall is a significantly better player than Michael Carter. I just think that Michael Carter is going to eat like Ezekiel Elliott into the receiving upside of Breece Hall. So with that said, at this pick, I will go with ETN. But Nick, James Robinson is back. Yes, he is. And that worries me. But why you draft Travis Etienne is not because I think he's going to get a million carries. It's because of the receiving upside on a team with a quarterback who loves to dump the ball off. That he was one of the top 3 quarterbacks in dump off percentage last season, Trevor Lawrence. So I think you should buy into Travis Etienne, even if James Robinson is fully healthy by week 1. I'm still buying into Travis Etienne. So now we are going to pivot into doing an actual draft and seeing how things actually shake up and seeing what I would be doing if this was a real 12-team league from the 4th overall spot. So we're going to bring that onto the screen right now and begin the draft. We are doing this on Sleeper, so it does use the Sleeper ADP. So the draft begins with Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Jonathan Taylor. If I'm being honest with you guys, I really do feel as though Jonathan Taylor is going to be the number 1 running back in, I would say, 95% of drafts. But I do think people are starting to get a little bit smarter when it comes to drafting Christian McCaffrey. And I think people are going to start keying more in on Christian McCaffrey and understanding that the last couple of years, the injuries are not connected. These are fluke injuries. Christian McCaffrey can still dominate in the NFL. So we're back up on the board here. I like Kupp or Eckler. Personally, I think that getting that running back in the first round is very important. I just talked about how important Cooper Kupp is as well, and I still agree with that sentiment. But Austin Eckler was not available in that simulation that we did at this spot in fourth overall spot. So I'm going to go with Eckler here. You also could have went with Cooper Kupp. Either pick would be fine with me. A lot of people are hyping up Justin Jefferson. I've seen Justin Jefferson in a couple of best ball drafts that I've done go ahead of Cooper Kupp and even go number one overall. So it seems like people really like Justin Jefferson this season, and for good reason. Of course, he is an excellent wide receiver. After Justin Jefferson, we see Cooper Kupp followed by Devontae Adams, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, and DeAndre Swift to close out the first round. The second round opens with Travis Kelce, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, 9-inch Nicholas Chubb, and Deebo Samuel. So we're back up on the board here. And at running back, it seems like Alvin Kamara is going to continue to steam up draft boards, because while everyone thought that Alvin Kamara was going to get a 6-game suspension, we've now heard that his battery charge has been rescheduled, the hearing, to September 29th, which potentially means that he might not be seeing a suspension at all this season. It might be pushed to next season. So knowing what we know right now, Alvin Kamara sounds like a smash pick in the second round, because if you told me in August that, or late August, because it's already August right now, late August, early September, when you're doing your fantasy football drafts, that Alvin Kamara was going to play 17 games, right? He's not going to get suspended. Of course, he could get hurt, but he's not going to get suspended. Then where does Alvin Kamara go? Probably inside of the first round. So right now is where you want to be scooping up that value on Alvin Kamara. So after Kamara, we see Mark Andrews, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Ron Jones, Mike Evans, and Javonte Williams. I have started to get a little bit more in on Javonte Williams, but I'm still not all the way in, because I still really think that Melvin Gordon is going to play a big role in this offense. Now, he's not going to be the guy that's getting a majority of carries, a majority of snaps, right? Javonte Williams will be the leader in snaps on this team, but the Denver Broncos did not bring back Melvin Gordon for him to sit on the fucking bench and let Javonte Williams do everything. They brought him back because they understand that this is an elite 1-2 punch, and that Melvin Gordon is really good on the goal line, except for that one game a couple of years ago in the Chargers where he fumbled. But Melvin Gordon's going to vulture some touchdowns. He's going to steal some opportunities. He's going to catch some passes. So again, while I'm not 100% out on Javonte Williams, I'm still not very excited to draft him, if I'm being honest with you. But in the third round, I understand it. It's just when he goes in the second round that it feels a little bit icky, even if that sounds like a fucking term that a kindergartner would use. So we're back up on the board here. Looking at wide receivers, we got A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, Tee Higgins. Looking at the other positions, we got tight end Kyle Pitts available. We got Pat Mahomes. We got James Conner, but we're not going to go running back here. I want to try something a little bit different here. Actually, no, we're going to stick with my normal plan here. We will go wide receiver, and we are going to go with Tee Higgins, wide receiver of the Cincinnati Bengals. I understand he is the number 2. A.J. Brown's the number 1. Keenan Allen is the number 1 in LA, but I still do think that Tee Higgins, even as the number 2 player behind Jamar Chase in this offense, has so much value with how high scoring this offense could be in 2022. I think with the upgraded offensive line, we're going to see excellent things out of Cincinnati in 2022. After we took Mr. Tee Higgins, we see Kyle Pitts come off the board, followed by James Conner, Keenan Allen, Cam Akers, David Montgomery, Pat Mahomes, A.J. Brown, Justin Herbert the pervert, Deontay Johnson, Breece Hall, George Kittle, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, Darren Waller, Jalen Waddle, and Travis Etienne. Now, I have talked negatively about Antonio Gibson in every single one of these draft strategy videos, I'm pretty sure. Why do you not like Antonio Gibson? Because every single thing we have heard out of training camp is that this is going to be a running back by committee. I understand that Antonio Gibson is skilled, and I understand that when he falls in best ball drafts into the 8th round, then I'm perfectly fine selecting Antonio Gibson at that draft price. But in the 4th round seems ludicrous to select him. It seems absolutely insane to select Antonio Gibson there, a running back by committee on a team that is not going to be very good. I just don't understand Antonio Gibson in the 4th round. It frankly makes zero sense. So looking at tight end, all of the big 5 tight ends that already came off the board, that being Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, George Kittle meet Timbers, and Darren Waller. So I like Dalton Schultz. I actually think Dalton Schultz has top 3 tight end upside. That's where he finished last year. But right now in the 4th round, after Waller went 2 picks ago, there's no need, or 3 picks ago, there's really no need for me to go with Waller. So we're just going to go either running back or receiver here. In the running backs, we already have 2 elite ones. And again, we're assuming Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended. So I'm hopping back onto the wide receiver train here. We're going with DJ Moore. I have been on the DJ Moore fucking bandwagon since this guy has been in the league. I've been the conductor of the DJ Moore hype train, and he has yet to overly exceed expectations. He's never completely screwed you over, bent you over a table, and raw dogged you without the use of lube, but he also has yet to put up that fantastic season. But all reports out of camp are showing that Baker Mayfield is those laser eye memes where it like makes the bzzz, and there's like, I don't know, maybe that's not the noise it makes, but you get what I'm saying, where it's like the laser eyes, like bing, and then it's like, wow, that guy's locked on, it's like Baker Mayfield, laser eyes onto DJ Moore. That is a descriptive meme. I mean, I'm not going to make the meme and throw it on the screen, but you get what I'm saying. If you do get what I'm saying, then you get what I'm saying. So DJ Moore is going to have that crazy season this year. I am seeing it. I see it. I'm rubbing the crystal ball. I really like DJ Moore this year, and I'm buying into him heavily in 4th round. After DJ Moore, we see Cortland Sutton, DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs, and Mike Williams. Mike Williams is probably one of the more interesting picks in fantasy drafts. He's going to have weeks where he sinks your ship, right, and scores like 6 points, but he's also going to have weeks where he absolutely torches your opponent. Drops like 30 points. So that's why he's super interesting to me. I like Jerry Jeudy, not as much as Sutton, but we are getting him at a discount. Looking at running backs, I do like Dobbins, but he is pretty clearly healthy. They're just not letting him practice, which does worry me a little bit, because if he was truly healthy, like we're seeing him talk about, like we're seeing these videos of, then he would be playing, right? You would think. So the decision here is, do we want to draft one more running back? Do we want to go tight end or wide receiver? Personally, I'm just going to continue on the wide receiver train. And this is a pick that is definitely risky right now on August 4th when I'm recording today's video. But this may not be much of a risk a couple of weeks from now. But right now, it seems like Chris Godwin's probably not going to play week 1, but will be healthy early on in the season. With the wide receiver core we have of Higgins and Moore, I'm fine taking that hit on Godwin missing a couple of games, because I understand this guy could be a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy football when healthy with this excellent chef's kiss, magnifique Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. After Chris Godwin, we see Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Joe Shiesty, Hollywood Brown, who just got caught speeding 120 miles per hour. Probably nothing's going to happen to him. He's going to just play week 1, so doesn't really move the needle, just something to bring up. J.K. Dobbins, Jerry Jeudy, Allen Robinson, Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is in a weird spot right now because I like Amari Cooper, but now with the Deshaun Watson, the NFL appealing the situation with that, where maybe it's not going to be 6 games, maybe it's going to be 12 games, maybe it's going to be indefinite, maybe it's going to be the whole season. I'm just worried yet again on Cleveland. I hope this situation gets ironed out soon, because this is going to be brutal to figure out what to do until we get that real decision on Watson from the NFL. After Amari Cooper, we see A.J. Dillon, followed by Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Dalton Schultz, Darnell Mooney, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So we're back up on the board here. And the guy that I really wanted, Dalton Schultz, at the tight end position is already gone. So since Dalton Schultz is gone, we're up at the 609. Very nice. I like. We're just not going to go ahead and draft a tight end here, because why would I want Hawkinson, Goddard, Knox at this ADP? I just don't like it. So we're going to go high upside again. This is a pick that is going to either be a swing and a fucking home run smashed out of the park, or, yeah, out of the park. Where do they play? The Giants, where it goes out of the park and into the river? Or this is going to be one that is a swing and a complete and utter miss. But I'm back in on Michael Thomas. I understand that he hasn't played really in the last couple of years, but when on the field, this guy looks great. On every video I've seen of him from training camp, he looks good. I'm just going to buy back into him. Could be way off, right? But in the 6th round, the upside is just so immense for this guy to be a top 10, top 5 wide receiver that I feel like you have to take the risk. After Michael Thomas, we see Adam Thielen, followed by DeAndre Hopkins, TJ Hawkinson, Dickie, Dak Prescott, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts a ton in the 7th round, but again, we've kind of waited so far on quarterback that I'd rather continue waiting past the 7th round. So looking at running backs, things have started to get bleak. We do have Eckler and Alvin Kamara, who are kind of the anchors to this team at the running back position, kind of a double hero running back strategy. So I'm not necessarily here trying to reach on another running back. I'm fine waiting even another round. So I'm going to go with some more upside here and go with Drake London, wide receiver of the Atlanta Falcons. Drake London is in the position to be in the driver's seat of this Atlanta Falcons offense, or maybe not necessarily the driver's seat. Maybe he's like the co-pilot to Kyle Pitts, or maybe he's the pilot and Kyle Pitts is the co-pilot, but they clearly have two great players in Pitts and London. The question is Mariota from a couple of years ago? Like, is Mariota underrated at this point? Like, is he going to bounce back in Atlanta? Maybe. But with how little target competition there is in Atlanta, besides Pitts, of course, for Drake London, it just seems like a no-brainer to take a wide receiver that looks as good as Drake London did at USC, that looks as good as Drake London has looked in training camp. It just makes sense to take him in the 7th round and understand the risk that goes with it, that maybe Mariota just sucks, is fucking atrocious, and Drake London ends up being a bust because of that, but I don't think that's going to end up being the case. After Drake London, we see Kenneth Walker, Rashad Bateman, Treylon Burks, who I like a ton as well, Devontae Smith, Gabe Davis, Kareem Hunt, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Lockett, Cordero Patterson, Russell Wilson, Elijah Moore, Aaron Rodgers, Devin Singletary, Brandon Ayuk, Hunter Renfrow, and Tony Pollard. So we already got a bunch of wide receivers. So we're just going to hop back into the running backs and then maybe go with a quarterback in the next round if my boy Trey Lance is available. Now, over on the Best Ball channel, if you guys watch the videos on there, we talk heavily about stacking. In a redraft league, I don't think stacking is as important. Sure, would it be cool to get Tom Brady and Chris Godwin stack? Yeah, that would be cool. But am I forcing that in the 8th round? I feel like I want to get another running back. No, I'm going to get Chase Edmonds. His bye weeks fit perfectly with Eckler, who's 8, and Kamara, who's 14. I like Edmonds a ton in this Miami offense. I talked about it before when I talked about Tyreek Hill. I really do believe that this offense is going to look significantly better than what we saw last year in Miami. I really think that Tua Tagovailoa is going to take that big next step, and I think that Chase Edmonds is going to be a key part in this offense, a key piece in this offense. Everything from training camp has already showed me this. I'm a Dolphins fan. I watch a lot. Basically, every single fucking clip I can watch, I watch for the Dolphins, and I am very excited for Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds also was taking a rest day yesterday, and they only gave rest days to the legitimate guys, except for Tua. Tua still had to go out there, but to Tyreek Hill, Waddle kind of had a rest day. Edmonds. So it tells me that Edmonds is heavily cemented in this offense. That's what that tells me. So I'm very confident in Edmonds. After Edmonds, we see Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Robert Woods, Christian Kirk, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, and Rashad Penny. So again, I did want to get that Tom Brady stack, but I didn't end up getting it, so it's okay. So we're just going to go with the highest upside pick available at quarterback, and that is Trey Lance. Trey Lance has had some bad days in camp. He's also made some throws that look like this guy might be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So again, am I going to completely blow my load over training camp footage? No. I'm also not going to overreact when he isn't that great in training camp when this is essentially his rookie year. He's clearly the number 1 quarterback on the team. And the reason why you like him is not because he's this prolific passer. It's because of the upside he has from rushing the football. Rushing upside is so important in fantasy football, unless you're a guy like Tom Brady who's going to sling the rock 7 zillion fucking times. So with Trey Lance, I think the upside is really there from the rushing upside. And I also believe that he may be a slightly better passer than people give him credit for. And I really think that Trey Lance is in the 9th round a complete steal. And you're going to look back and be like, wow, I was able to get Trey Lance in the 8th, 9th round, the 10th round in some leagues last year. That's crazy because now he's going with guys like Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow in like the 5th, 6th round. I really think that is a possibility. So after Trey Lance, we see Ramondre Stevenson, Zach Ertz, Matthew Stafford, James Cook, Chase Claypool, Dawson Knox one time if you're with me, Alan Lazard, Melvin Gordon, Isaiah Spiller, Pat Fryermouth, Sky with 2 Ys more, Michael Kata, Mike Licky, Amagasicki, Russell Gage, Christian Watson, and Kadarius Toney. Now, if I'm being honest with you guys, I honestly think I would rather, if you've ever seen that SpongeBob episode, maybe it's not an episode, it might be in the SpongeBob movie where the guy has the cleats, but it's like basically knives on his foot. I think I would legitimately rather get kicked in the balls by that guy with knives on his feet than draft Christian Watson. Christian Watson is banged up still. He's not fucking participating in training camp, and Aaron Rodgers heavily cares about chemistry. If he doesn't have chemistry with you, he's not going to throw you the ball, and that is not going to bode well for Christian Watson. So I think Christian Watson right now is an absolutely atrocious pick. And while I liked him a couple of months ago, the fact that he's banged up completely has changed everything for me. And I think Christian Watson is going to be a humongous bust for 2022 fantasy football. Could he have a great year in 2023 if Rodgers stays? 100%. But right now, I am staying clear away from that. So before we get on in to our 10th round pick, I would like to give you guys a quick word from our friends and our sponsor of today's video, Underdog Fantasy, which is the best place to play fantasy football this summer. The Best Ball Mania 3 tournament has $10 million in total prize money. All you got to do is draft your team, and that's it. There's no waivers, no trades, or no in-season management. The worst thing about fantasy football for me is, as someone who plays in a lot of fantasy football leagues, is sitting up on Tuesday night trying to fill out waivers for a million fantasy leagues. That is terrible. Now, again, you got to do it to win. I like the waiver wire, but not having to do that is amazing. So you don't have to worry about waivers, trades, no in-season management. Underdog will automatically give you the highest scoring players every single week of the season and put them into your lineup. So you don't have to worry about setting your lineup. And last year's Best Ball Mania champion drafted in June. It's early July right now, so there is no need to wait. Click on the link in the video description or use promo code Stokastic down below to get a free first match deposit bonus of up to $100 with Underdog, and you'll receive our best ball and fantasy football draft kit for 100% free. That's a combined $170 of value with a deposit of $100. Make sure you guys check that out. The Puppy 3 tournament is only $5 to enter and has a $1 million total prize pool, so make sure you guys do check that out. If you're newer to best ball, I would highly suggest hopping in that $5 puppy contest. So we are back up on the board here. We already got our quarterback. We still don't have a tight end. So some people might get a little bit worried, but there is a tight end that I'm starting to talk myself into, starting to hype this player. I'm not like hype myself up for this player, right? I don't need to hype myself up to draft a player. I think Cole Kmet is going to be really good this year. I think Cole Kmet is the clear number 2. He's really the only other receiving weapon on this team, unless you count like David Montgomery or Khalil Herbert, besides Darnell Mooney. I think Cole Kmet is in the perfect situation to have a humongous breakout year in 2022. It's really all about the situation with Cole Kmet. He really has yet to get that target share to where we would tell if he was really that great of a tight end at the NFL level yet or not. And I think this year is a prove it year for Mr. Cole Kmet. So we filled out our roster. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bench spots left. With the fact that we drafted Kmet in the 10th round, I'm fine just committing to Cole Kmet. Not drafting another tight end. We drafted Lance the round before in the 9th round. I'm fine riding with Lance. If Lance ends up being a unmitigated disaster, then guess what? We take him, we cut him, we dribble him around, and we fucking throw him off of our roster and pick up another player. I'm pretty confident in him, so I'm fine riding with him. So right now, we're either looking running back or wide receiver. Looking at the board here, we got MVS, Jameson Williams, who probably will miss a decent amount of time at the beginning of the season. We got Tyler Boyd at running back. We have Nyheim Hines, who's getting a lot of smoke right now, is being blown up Nyheim Hines' ass. How serious is that going to be is a legitimate question. Could Nyheim Hines be seeing some legitimate time with Jonathan Taylor on the field? It seems like it. So we're not going to go with him, though, because I think Darrell Henderson will be available for us in the 12th round. So we're going high upside wide receivers here. We can take it safe, go Boyd, go maybe Jarvis Landry, but we're going for upside. We're going with MVS. Is MVS guaranteed to be the number 1 receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs? Of course not. But could he be? 100%. They gave him a big bag, gave him a decent amount of money. I think MVS has the talent to be the number 1 receiver on the Chiefs, unless you consider Kelsey to be the number 1 receiver, which he definitely is. So after MVS, we see Rachaad White, Jameson Williams, Tyler Boyd, Kirk Cousins, you like that, Tua Tagovailoa, Nyheim Hines, Tyler Algier, Justin Fields, Albert O. Then we see Jarvis Landry, Darrell Henderson, fuck who I wanted, Hunter Henry, Irv Smith, Gus Bus Edwards, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. There is still a chance that, based on everything that I've read, that Watson plays all of this year because of what's happening and then gets suspended next year. So this is going to be a very interesting situation to follow. Disappointed that we were not able to get Darrell Henderson, but we will just hop on another running back that I think is pretty safe. Or actually, McKissick goes pretty high on here. I think I'd rather just go with Gainwell. I'm not sold on Miles Sanders. I never have been. And I think that Kenneth Gainwell has the upside to become the number one running back on the team. And if he doesn't, he's going to be seeing valuable touches on a team that runs the ball that much. So I like Gainwell a ton. After Gainwell, we see Rondell Moore, Tim Patrick, Kenny Galladay, Devontae Parker, Marlon Mack, and David Njoku. So we got 3 bench spots left here. So we're going to go with some wide receivers here as well. Since this is a 3 wide receiver and 1 flex league, you typically want to be having 4 wide receivers on your roster at all times, or in your lineup at all times, unless you go 3 running backs off the rip. So say we went with Eckler, Kamara, and then it swung back and we took James Conner, or we took ETN in the 4th round if he fell, then yeah, I'm fine doing 3 running backs. But otherwise, you kind of want to have 4 wide receivers playing at all times. So we're going to go with wide receiver here yet again. Jalen Tolbert is the pick for me. I like Jalen Tolbert a ton this year. After the injury to James Washington, who's going to be missing some time, not going to miss the whole season, it seems pretty clear that Jalen Tolbert's going to be the number 2 receiver on this team while Michael Gallup is gone. Could that be only for a couple of weeks? Sure. Could it be for 8-10 weeks? Definitely. I mean, that is definitely in the cards for Michael Gallup's missed time. So I like Tolbert here in the 13th round. After Tolbert, we see another rookie in Jahan Dotson, followed by Khalil Herbert, Maki Mock Ingram, Jacoby Myers, George Pickens, DJ Chark, Matt Ryan. I almost said Mark Ryan. Matt Ryan, JD McKissick, Mecole Hardman, Raheem Mostert, Mac Jones, TDP, Tyrion Davis Price, Julio Jones. Then we see Noah Fant, Tyler Higbee, and Hayden Hurst. I like Hayden Hurst a ton. There's a lot of positive signs coming out of camp that Hurst is going to be great this year. Hurst has shown us that he's a good player. He just has not really ever been in this great of a situation as he is in Cincinnati. So again, we don't need another quarterback. We don't need another tight end. So it's just running back and wide receiver from here on out. If you're hunting for upside, I believe this is the wrong play. But if you're hunting for safety, I think Jamal Williams is perfect because we know what Jamal Williams is in this offense. He's the guy behind Mr. DeAndre Swift. If Swift gets hurt, Williams is in the perfect situation to succeed. If Swift doesn't get hurt, then Williams is going to see some touches. And if things go really bad at running back, you can start him. So after Jamal Williams, we see Brian Robinson, Jameis Winston, Van Jefferson, Gerald Everett, Robert Tonyan, Chuba Hubbard, and we're back up on the board here to close out with a wide receiver. And we're going to go with, how many rookie receivers do we have? We have 2. I like Pierce, but I think Campbell's honestly the better play on Indianapolis. It seems like Campbell, based on all these reports, is the number 2 guy. So we'll go with Campbell here. Again, maybe that's a swing and a miss, and maybe Pierce ends up being the guy. But hey, based on the reports I've read, Campbell looks like the number 2 receiver in Indy. After we go with Campbell comes Alec Pierce, then Darrell Williams, Zamir White, Donta Foreman, Odell Beckham Jr., KJ Osborne, and Sony Michel. So to recap our draft, from the 4th overall spot, we went with Austin Eckler, followed by Alvin Kamara, Higgins, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Michael Thomas, Drake London, Chase Edmonds, Trey Lance, Cole Kmet, MVS, Kenneth Gainwell, Jalen Tolbert, Jamal Williams, and Perry Campbell. So thank you guys all so much for watching today's video. Let me know down below in the comments section if you thought our draft was good, if you thought you could have done better. Let me know what picks went wrong, what picks you really liked. I would really appreciate that a ton. I love hearing the feedback in the comment section. I love you guys all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your guys' day.